Hello and welcome to the channel again. It's been a week or so since I've last been fishing, but we are out chasing cod tonight and actually at a new mark that I've never fished before. I think the past 4 or 5 trips have kind of been at the same place, and it's not really been paying off that well. In previous years, that place that I go to was normally pretty damn good, but for whatever reason this year I'm just not getting in amongst the fish. So I've been trawling through Google Maps trying to find somewhere else to fish. I've elected to I'm trying a rock mark this time rather than a sort of mixed ground beach mark. I've never fished this mark before. I don't know much about it, to be honest. From the Google Maps, it's a peninsula. It looks like it's cut off at high tide. Now it's 4:45, sorry. It's dark outside. And low tide's at about 9:30, so the plan is to get next to as close as I can to that peninsula, and fish, keep moving as the tide drops, and hopefully get onto this headland, which looks like I'll be able to cast into some pretty rough ground, but into some deep water as well, and then fish that for as long as I can before I have to get off or get pushed off by the tide. So I'm going to put the camera down and get my waders and kit sorted out and start I think it's about a 40-minute walk or a half-hour walk, so it's going to be some time. I'll get the camera out and get you guys set up once we get to where I think we'll be able to fish. Frost already. Weather-wise, we're meant to be looking at 10-mile-an-hour winds, southerlies gusting up to 20. So the idea of fishing this mark was the wind was going to be on my back. There's a large tide, 97 coefficient, but it's a falling. It was the biggest tide yesterday. Now it's just dropping. I'm a little worried as I'm walking in here because I can actually hear a swell, and good old magic seaweed was forecast no swell, and I'm still a couple of 100 meters away from the sea, so that's not a good sign. If it's too rough, I'm just gonna have to call it, really. I think it's this way, and head to a beach mark, because there's no way I want to be fishing a rock mark that I don't know by myself in heavy seas. Hopefully I've taken the right turn as well. I don't have any phone signals. I looked at my maps before I left the house. I'm kind of going on memory here. A little worried as well. The sign on the gate as I came in said there's a bull in the field. There's quite a lot of fresh pat around, so hopefully it doesn't take exception to us to walking through. Don't know if you can see those eyes glinting in my head torch, but I think that's Mr. Bull there. Yep, it's just blinked. I'm just going to hop over this fence, I think. I think I'll use some technology. Oop. I think I'm about here. I'm definitely not there. Yeah. Just want to get along and fish up here. Well, the swell's a little bigger than I was hoping. Some breakers out there. This here, I don't know if you can see, is one of the pinch points where it backfills. You can see at the moment the water's kind of rushing through this way. Just gonna step across there because I know the tide's definitely going out, so it should be pretty safe for the moment till about 9 o'clock. And this peninsula heads all the way out there, sort of behind where these swells are. Sorry, in front of where these swells are coming across here. So whew, rocks are like ice. What I'm going to do is it seems like a canny little stone to set up on for the moment. I hope I brought enough leads because this place looks really rocky. So I'm going to turn my sat nav GPS on in a second, but I think I've just walked across this little gully here and I'm kind of standing on this rock. water there and the waves are coming through. If I'm right, then I could probably wade across there, but I'm going to wait until the tide drops a bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a cast from here out that way, and then as the tide drops I'll move over to these rocks, and ideally I want to get out to here onto these rocks here, but I'm not going to take any risks. I'm just going to take it easy, because ideally I would have liked to have been here during the day to get to know the area at low tide, but that wasn't a possibility. So let's stick the old GPS on and see if I'm right about me. Look, yeah, there we go. Right about my location. Whew, it's exciting, this, finding new marks. Not new marks, new for me. Well, while I was getting my camera set up, I noticed there's some rocks visible on this little causeway here. Started to wade out because I can't be bothered to stick a line in the water just to have to move in 10 minutes. Waves are breaking, but can't see the bottom. Might just give it 10, and then hopefully the tide should be low enough for us to get over onto these rocks over there. Oh, wish I knew this area. I could wade, but I mean, the current's pretty strong, but I carry my camera kit and everything. I don't really want to. All it'll take is one little trip and everything's a goner. I think patience will be a virtue here. Probably people that are watching this who know the area going, just walk across, man, just walk across, it'll be absolutely fine. Next time I'll know. Oh, here we go. Looks alright. Seeing that, and I just fall down a hole. Oh, I'm nearly there. The water is pouring through here. Woo! Pretty strong. And I made it. It's 20 to 6. Low tide's at about 9. That means I need to get off here at what? 11 to be safe. Rather not cut it too close, if you know what I mean. Got a bait on and a line in the water. Come on. That's why you don't turn your back on the sea. Right, I'm going to start with this, which is my favourite Paternoster, Pennel Paternoster rig with 25-pound break and strain rotten bottom on. I can see myself losing quite a few leads and hooks tonight. I'm glad I know the tide's going out. I think I want to cast that way. Right, first cast out. Right, that's the first bait in the water. This is the type of place I think that I'm not. Oh, bloody light, ran out of batteries already. Right, so that's the first bait out in the water finally. It's 5 to 6. I don't know what I've just cast into, but it feels rough anyway. I think I've got a feeling this is going to be a type of mark where I'm not going to get a lot of fish, and if I do get one, it might be an alright one. My only goal really, apart from catching a fish, is to catch fish over 44 centimetres, because at the moment that's my season PB, and it's, in all honesty, it's not great for Northumberland, but feels like a great little mark, this. Bit eerie having water on three sides if you're only 20 centimetres above the water line, but fingers crossed I've cast into some alright ground, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a nice fish. Wasn't a very big one, but it was a knock. Oh, I felt a good hit there. Just lifted into it and I've hit a snag instantly. Gonna let a bit of slack out and hopefully the fish might come along and lift us out. So just while I wait for that fish to come back, I'm going to have a quick shufties at this gully here and see. I know this one's much deeper. There's a rock that I want to fish on there. I might be able to get across in about half an hour. So while I was snagged, I just thought I'd check up on where I am, and I started off on this rock here. I've moved across this gully and now I'm standing here. And this is the next gully that I want to cross here. It looks like I thought that the front bit of the gully here is probably the easiest place to cross, and then I can get out onto this rock here, or even maybe further over. There's still a bit of swell, so I'm a bit dubious about that bit so far, but I'll wait until I get over there and then have a look. But it's been about 20 minutes since that bite, and I didn't reel very far, so I'm assuming that my hooks are stuck in a crack because the fish never came back. So I'm going to put this away and try and get at least part of my rig back, and then maybe make a move over onto this rock here. There we go. Don't know what's left of my rig. I think my rotten bottom just gave away there. Right, hooks and lead gone. It's heavy ground, might actually have to fish a pulley. Yep, I can definitely get across now as long as there's not another gully over there. I'm gonna have a quick look. I can cross that as well. Nice, and then I'll be up on there. Let's get the stuff moved. So this is the way across. It's about 20 to 7. Means I got 2 hours, so about 20 to 11. I need to get off this mark. Oh, this looks good. I can see about 10 miles in each direction. Normally you can see extra headlamps, people fishing, but I can't see a thing here. Oh, I've just seen a seal though. I saw a glint on the water and then I heard the snort, so that's not a good start. I've just tied on some new hooks and a couple of worms there. Let's get this out. Looks like I'm standing on a cliff top here. Deep water straight to my feet. I might get this lead back. Right, let's whack this out into the abyss. So that's my second cast out now. It's a really comfy platform to fish from here. Unless this empties out in front of us, I don't think I'm going to bother trying to move again. It feels like really deep water that I've just cast into. There was a seal in front of me. Just as I arrived, I saw the light glinting off his head and then heard it snorting. 10 to 7, and it'll be off, start moving at about 10 to 11. Well, hopefully in that time I might land a fish. So I'm pretty sure I'm standing on this rock here. Yeah. Well, this bait had about 25 minutes, so I'm going to whack a fresh one on. I've had no hits or anything apart from, well, getting scared shitless by a seal when I was looking over the edge there. He just appeared out of the gloom. Right, let's get this in. It's definitely some heavy ground. The snood snapped at the just before the knot there. It's a good job I got plenty of hooks with us. third bait out now. Got some company on the rocks on my right hand side. Bit that I said I wasn't going to go to. Can't see him with this light on, but I think he's kind of casting over the other side. But in all honesty, it feels quite nice to have a bit of company. I've cast a bit more to my left than my previous cast. The first cast here I cast a bit more out to sea. Come on, fish. Actually, my rod tip's seen since I moved on to the second rock. Oh, there it goes again. Oh yeah. Oh no. Had a series of good little taps there, and then quite a good thump as I was holding the rod and wound into it, and it felt like a good fish. I think what happened is I missed it, and I was lifting over the top of a rock, which is where the tension came from. I've done 1.5 turns of the handle, so I'm just going to leave it where it is for another 10 minutes. Something keeps pecking away. Doesn't feel like a big fish. It's not the one we're after. I'll take any fish to beat the blank, and then we can target the big ones. Well, that's the next bait in the water. So bite on my first cast, nothing on my second cast. And then a few bites on my third cast, but no hookups, so good sign. At least there's more bites than not, so there's fish out there. I just need to connect into them. Putting 3 big yellowtails on each cast now. Clarity of the water it's manky, so I don't need to worry too much about presentation. I'm putting a load of bait on just to increase the scent in the dirty water. Fingers crossed this is the cast. Where the water was just at my feet before it's dropped down all that way. Don't know if you can pick it up, but there's a shit ton of kelp appearing around the place. Really heavy ground. Feels really fishy, especially with the manky water. Feel it on the end of the line. A little bit slack, but I won't give it too much. So I've got a fish on here, but it's caught up. I can feel it every now and again giving it a little thump, but I think my splashdown or something's caught, because my rotten bottom's not giving way, and neither's my snood. I'm hoping that giving this fish some slack will be able to sort itself out, but I think I'm just going to have to try and bully this and snap whatever's caught. Well, I thought at least with this slack out, fish might sort itself out. hung up. Yeah, it's gone. But I definitely had a fish on there. Took us into a snag and that's all I've got left. 60 pound rig body just, yeah, gone. Well, it's getting another rig on. At least I had a hook fished on this time. Fished on? Hooked on. What do I got here? Looks like the one. Oh, for whatever reason, I've tied this rig up with a 25 pound fluorocarbon trace rather than a, which is the same, well, it's the Seaguar race hard I use for my bass fishing and lure fishing. The thing about using fluorocarbon, you need to make sure your nuts are shit hot, else they'll come off it dead easily. Let's get some more barnacle scrapings on my hand. I'm not going to have much skin left after scraping these barnacles with my fingers. Right, let's get this out. Same place where that fish was, hopefully. Well, that was a bit of a gutter losing that fish, but still at least I had a fish on. So I just whacked another bait out. I wanted to go straight out in front of us, but I've hooked it more to the right. I hope I haven't gone over someone else's line. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Oh, I can't believe I had a fish on and lost it. Oh yes. Only a few minutes there, like. That was a good proper cod knock. No. That was the most positive bite I've had all night. It's unusual for a cod that they normally come back for a second go. Seems to be some fish about though. That was in the water for about 2 minutes. Come on. So that's 2 really good hits. Really positive hits that I've had on this cast. And it's only been in the water a few minutes, so hopefully there's still some bait left on. And whatever it is, it's going to come back. Ground seems a little cleaner as well where it was cast into. Nothing's come, so let's see what I can get back. It's a proper snag. This reel's getting a good testing. It's doing much better than Maltegra did. Ooh. Just snapped 60 pound braid there. Well, that's snapped pretty much near my rod tip, so it's going to be bad news if all that line and rig floating around. Now, I wonder why. Oh, the braid snapped before the rig did. Oh shit. Oh, that's not good. I knew I'd snap some of my braid, but that takes the piss. Oh, I've got 2 winds left on there. So the tide's really started to push in now. Probably got another 20 minutes left before I have to leave, so come on, last cast fish. Don't believe it. It's caught a fish. Someone else's rig in its mouth. It's not the 44cm beaten fish, but it's a fish. Whee, there we go. Well, that was a reasonably strange night, or a tough one. I've learned a couple of things. First of all, GoPro batteries don't like salt water, especially not being dropped in rock pools. Second thing, which is probably more important, is that when I was walking out there, I kind of realised that that the bites, I got more bites when I turned my camera away from the sea, so the light was kind of pointing back to the shore. Normally I kind of get a particular camera angle, but it means that my light is shining out to sea, and I don't know whether it was a coincidence or not, but I turned it around and yeah, the bites started coming. I might try that again next time. It doesn't give as good a camera angle, I don't think, but I'm here to fish, to be honest, rather than make videos. I like to go fishing and take a camera rather than making videos specifically. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on. Yeah, so tough night really. Had plenty of action, but only one fish. Lost a lot of tackle, but I was fishing in super heavy ground and I didn't know where I was fishing really, so I was kind of fanning around, and that's to be expected, you know. I don't mind losing tackle, but I do mind losing over half of my braid. I've used Power Pro for years, but I'm thinking of going over to the same braid that I use for my lure fishing, which is Taslan Elite. It's really narrow diameter and really strong, so, and I've been really impressed with the abrasion resistance. But yeah, good mark. I think you could probably fish at 3 hours either side of low tide. It was quite a big tide today, so might make a difference on a smaller tide, but I I'll definitely be heading back and bringing you guys along with me. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up as always, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the the Slippy team, I guess. And until the next video, tight lines.